the problem is that we don't have a word as sophisticated as logos, so I have to use it. Once you stop going to church, even the truncated Protestant version of Christianity, you lose contact with logos, and once you lose contact with logos, you're very vulnerable to these ideologies. And the ideology is basically social Darwinism. That's where it came from. And social Darwinism is a form of biological materialism. That's what Jared is. It's biological materialism. You are a function of your DNA. Your behavior is determined by your DNA. Well, we back up a little bit. It starts off, the brain is just this muscle, and the brain, there's no mind, no difference between brain and mind, and everything you feel is little balls bumping into each other. They're called atoms, okay, but they're little balls. And when you're happy, what you're really saying is they're bumping really fast. And when you're sad, they're just kind of going like this. You know what I mean? You're completely determined by those little balls bumping into each other. Well, okay, if you're completely determined by that, then what you just said was completely determined by those little balls bumping into each other, which means I don't have to take it seriously. You just refuted your own doctrine here.
So the very axiom from which they come at this is flawed right from the gate. I tend to agree that that's true. I did want you, we don't have too much time left here, but I did want to see if you could expand on the idea. I've heard a lot about logos, and Jordan Peterson has talked even about the idea of logos. And I wondered if you could expand on exactly what logos is. There's a large secular viewership that this channel has, and I wondered if you could flesh that out. I know it's complex, but
yes, logos is the Greek word for speech or word, and the problem is that we don't have a word as sophisticated as logos, so I have to use it. That word. I mean, the classic example is the beginning of the Gospel of St. John, which is 4 of the most important sentences ever written, the turning point of human history, where it's translated in English. In the beginning, there was the Word was with God, the Word was God. Okay, now that doesn't mean anything. You can read that forever and you'll never understand. And every European language says the same thing. In principio erat verbum, it's the same thing. Am Anfang war das Wort, same thing. Because none of those languages have a word as sophisticated as logos. Logos is speech. It is rationality. It is the order of the universe, and it's God. And that was the turning point in human history. When St. John said logos is God, he took the whole tradition of Greek thought and he baptized it and married it with the tradition of Hebrew prophecy. The Hebrews had a history without philosophy. The Greeks had philosophy without history. And you put them two together and you've got Christianity. And that has been the engine of logos throughout history. That's what I'm talking about here. We are creatures of logos, because we were created by the God who is logos. And our main characteristic is they have the ability to speak and to talk to each other. We have little images here on screens, and the mouth is flapping and sounds are coming out, and you understand what I'm saying. And you say something back to me, and I understand you understood, and we're going back and forth. And this is what it means to be a human being. And this is what we have to get back to as the basis of our way forward through this perilous time that we're in.